We're just going to dissect a little topic. So the question is, why aren't you progressing in your dance? And this is a question that is very broad, but requires a nuanced answer. The first question that I'm going to ask is, why the fuck are you dancing? I think this is one of the most important things that you got to answer yourself. Your why, the big why. Why am I dancing? Like, why am I doing this? Is this a thing that I'm doing just because I happen to do it? Is it things of passion or heart? Is it a hobby? Do I have a specific direction of things that I want to do with it? This is I think the primary question that you got to find an answer to, because it leads to like the reason why also you would commit yourself to want to grow to some extent is your why. If you don't have a why, you're like a blind man trying to find a fucking key in a haystack. No, it's a needle in a haystack, not a key. Yeah, excuse me. But you get what I'm saying. So the why is a big question. Then when you answer that why, we got to look at how are you practicing? Like, what is your method of practice? Understanding that we all different. We all have different anatomies. We all have a different brain. We all have different cultures. We all have different relationship with music, relationship with dance. So the methods and the way that we practice ought to be different, because what works for me and what works for him or her does not necessarily works for you. Because this is how you grow, by having a specific methodology that allows you to understand things faster and better for yourself and how you function as a person. So the way that you train is very important. I think it is good to be able to absorb different information for people. You take what you need, but it is very important for you to be able to create your own that works for you. Right? To be your own scientist, your own researcher, to dissect that information and knowledge, dissect your body in different parts, to have that understanding and that blueprint that you're able to like emulate so that you can grow and develop and expand and seek for deeper answers. But you start with your own stuff. Then you also gotta look at how you perceive dance, like what these dance is for you. Is it just like moves and body movement, or is it a thing that is deeper and related to expression, to a sense of self, to a spiritual connection, to the way that you feel and the way that you basically can express non-verbal thing that you're thinking or feeling just through movement? You know, those notions are very different, because there's a difference between how it looks and how it feels. That notion is extremely different. To be able to convey feeling that may be movement that you deem as ugly, but they have that essence of emotions and of words that you cannot say with your mouth, that you're saying with your chest, with your limbs, with everything else that has to do with your body. Important. So those are the questions that you got to ask yourself before you find those answers. Because there's, like I said, it's a simple question that has nuanced answers. By answering those few questions, you can start to like decipher the reason why you're not growing. Because you start with like, why am I dancing? If you don't have the answer to this, of course you ain't gonna grow, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it, which is tremendously important. In my case, this is one of my clearest way of self-expression. I can vocalize and use words to express how I feel and how I think clearly. But for movement, there's a aspect and an essence that I'm not able to tap in with words. I'm able to also express how I feel. I do it through movement. Actually, how I feel, the way I move my body, it allows me to have a catharsis that expresses how the deepest part of my soul is feeling at the moment, right? I really listen to my body, and this is a connection that I have, and this is why I need to move. Like, I need to move in order to feel, in order to be, in order to, feel that I exist. My humanity and me feeling that I am here is linked to movement. It makes me feel alive. That is why I dance. Then that's my big why. That's why I dance. And I have a need to express myself in a creative manner that is essential to my existence. And dance is one of the outlets that is the most prominent in my life. I have other things, but I just fucking love movement. I love movement. So yeah, that's my why, for instance. And that's the why I wake up every day. That's the why I do and I live to create. And dance is one of the outlets that allows me to do that. Thankfully, it's working well. But yeah, Those are some of the notions that you gotta look at before looking at, okay, shit, what is the next training? Now, first, those are deeper layer of your psychology that you gotta look at in order for you to grow. And then, well, the answer is change the way that you practice. If you are hitting a wall, you don't try to just like fucking punch the wall out. You look at a a lift or an escalator or, you know, some stairs that you can climb across the wall. You've got to look at the wall from a different perspective to be able to like overcome it. Not try to do the same thing. It's, you know, we call that insanity, to like do the same thing and expecting different results. You change your perspective, you change the way that you're practicing, the way that you look at practice, and then you would have different results. So for example, if you've been practicing a certain way for a certain amount of time, look at handicaps. Like, okay, what can I do on one leg? What I've been doing the concept all the time. Okay, let me look at actually expressing how I feel when I dance, grooving, just sensing, just losing myself with the music and I dictate my movement. Just looking at different ways and patterns that you can utilize that just differs from like what you were doing. And sometimes those answers are not with other people. They're just in you, by you, understanding that you are smart enough, you have enough within yourself to be able to answer those questions. Again, it's contradictory because I'm telling you, do your shit yourself, but also listen to my advice and pay for my courses. And they're very expensive. But it is what it is, because the power is within yourself. So don't be stupid when I think that you're smart. So instead of like looking at people for answers, you just take a little moment, sit down and be like, okay, this is the tools that I have. This is not working. So what if instead of going right, I go left? See, it is not that complicated. All right, you're welcome, bitches.